It's a vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe. It's a vibe. That's a vibe.
Irresponsible.
Yeah.
I'm just not, but I'm not crazy.
You want a vibe.
We all need a little crazy.
Listen, we all need to be a little irresponsible every so
I
often.
tell you how I shut my husband down the other day? Because he always likes to call me crazy.
And you listen, hold on, let me just say this. Men, be careful with your words and calling your woman crazy. It is easy for us to call them crazy because we feel that's how they're acting. But in reality, it's a level of emotion that's going on inside of them. And so have love for your partner and take a beat before that word pops into your head of natural reaction. Take a beat and say, do I really need to say this? Is this going to do me good or my wife good?
Listen, he called me crazy, y'all. And I said, well, you're crazy, too. He said, I'm not crazy. I said, oh, yeah? How'd you end up with me, then? He had no words. He had no comeback. He was like,
Mike, because
you're right.
He's not. Well, his issue is that if you are crazy, he's got to be just as dysfunctional to be with an individual who he views as dysfunctional.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
We in this crazy together, bro.
Yeah, come on now. So that's a positive thing. But try to talk to your spouse with loving words. It's.
We were being loving.
What I would like is I would like our elders to write a book to our millennial and zillennial generation and give them some game that they may not know.
Like
I don't want any game from the generation that came before me.
Really?
No offense. Oh no, the generation before us. The generation before us are the most secretive people, and the lies in those relationships, them lies that them people go to their graves with.
A lot of people
deceit, because they didn't have technology.
Yeah.
Well, you assume that the truth. You assume that the truth is always the greater good, and sometimes, in order to protect your energy, your space, your soul, that you need to be lied to.
No. Don't lie.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Nope. I don't ever need to be lied to.
No.
I think
there are some things that you should not like. There are situations where does this really need to be said?
Name one. Give me an example of where you think I need to be lied to.
Do I need to tell you about every emotion that you invoke inside of me in regards to your behavior?
Yeah, tell me. Tell me what's up.
No.
How do I get better?
How do you get
about
better?
not evoking that emotion if you just keep it all inside?
Well, but then here's the thing. If I keep it all inside, and if every single time that you did something to me, I'm sitting there correcting you, you're going to be walking on eggshells feeling that I can't, because you don't even have the mindset to sit there and say, you know what, you're right. Or let me take this into consideration. It's going to feel like a constant attack, and then you're going to be walking on eggshells. So there are some things that do not need to be said to you. There are some things that are like, is this productive in this moment? Is this the battle that I need to fall on my sword on, or is this something that I just, let me give my woman some grace in this moment right now, because she needs it.
Are we talking about lies, or are we talking about picking our battles?
Well, what's a lie?
Those are two different things.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you what a lie is.
A lie can be an omission. It's people like, listen, if you're doing something that I don't like, and I don't tell you, I'm technically not telling you. It's an omission. It's sort of kind of like a lie.
Listen, me and my husband is brutally honest with me. I get all dressed up on Saturday. I thought I was doing it, y'all. I don't care what nobody says. I thought I looked really nice when I came to the event on Saturday. I look over at my husband and he goes, "Do you like my sweater?" And I was like,
Sweater.
What
is he like? 19? What is he, old man? Got a pipe too with one of them old school hats?
He always joke. He always just wears the same thing all the time.
Okay.
And then I like, well, how do I look? I put like so much effort in. He's like, I don't know if you're going to a funeral or to the club, Shante.
Wow.
Shante,
But you got it.
I'm being emotionally abused, y'all.
Well,
Shante,
now, do you think in that moment he should have just lied to me? He should have been like, "You look nice, Shante." He goes, "You look nice, Shante."
In 2 seconds, two things should have happened in that moment. Number one, you should have never asked him about how you look, because I've seen the way you dress on a consistent basis, and I've not seen one time where you're like raggedy, okay? So what he's looking at is his expectation of how he wants you to appear. Second part is that he needs to shut up in regards to your appearance, and the reason is that it's why are you trying to create self-inflicted wounds in your relationship?
No, he's so mean.
First of all, I mean, if he thought you dressed garbage, he would have, and you don't.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are times where you just need to shut up.
Hold on,
I ripped
Don.
him a new one.
Wait, hold on, guys.
Right.
Hold on.
I told him I had no idea you had on a new sweater because all your sweaters look the same.
I would like to say something here.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Shantae and Don. I've been trying to say something,
Sorry,
and you
Go
both
ahead.
have been just
I know. I'm sorry.
filibustering.
We're so sorry.
Okay, thank you. So I want to talk about what you just said. There's some women that, like for me, in my relationship, and I have a good friend of mine. We talk about this. If you don't tell me the truth, you can come at me gently about it. Like, I don't know if I would wear that. I like this better on you. That's going to make me feel like, okay, he has my best interest, and I'm gonna look okay. I'll look better in this other outfit, because I've asked boyfriend a couple times, and I've felt uncomfortable with when he never said anything, and he's like, well, I would have worn this as opposed to what you did wear. So I really needed him to tell me the truth.
Let me interject something in here when it comes to fashion. Fashion is not about what you wear. It's about how you wear it.
I get it.
And so I may not like the outfit that you're wearing because it's not aesthetically pleasing to me. But as my job as your man is to amplify the dress in that moment so that you feel it and that you feel sexy in it and you feel good in it. Mm-hmm. And I've fallen short on this, and this is something that I've kind of learned over time, that I may not like your style of the dress or the colors or whatever. That's me. That I don't control the world.
And you don't think that's a lie if you don't personally care for it?
It's perspective. Like, I don't know fashion. I know how I like to dress, and I'm looking at how I like to dress through what you're showing me.
Aren't you dressing though? I mean, Shantae, you're different than me in this respect. When I dress, I want to make sure that my partner and I like what we wear, what we're wearing, right? He asks me, do I look okay? Are you going to feel comfortable going out with me like this? And I want to know, too, like, I don't want to wear something that's going to make him feel uncomfortable or he'll be embarrassed.
Okay,
so don't we dress for our partners, too?
There is one aspect of that where you, and I think men may have an issue if you're revealing too much skin. I think that might be an issue. And so in that respect, I think it's okay to say something of like, I feel it's a little too, you know what I'm saying? Because let's say you're very open and,
sexually free,
but your husband's very conservative. Mm-hmm. You want to take his subconscious issue into consideration when you're dressing with him, because you don't want him to be on edge throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
But when it comes to taste of dress, color scheme, cut, and all this other stuff, I think that's something that you have to kind of just know.
Of course.
And stick to. So I do think there's a point where you take your partner's consideration into it when it comes to what's the message we're trying to project here when we go out and we're in public. Are we trying to project me, this conservative guy, and you're this kind of sex vixen with the way that you dress?
Maybe that's sexy.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, but there's different levels of sexy. There's sexy classy, there's sexy, there's sexy hoish. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different versions of sexy.
Well, when does it matter what she feels best in?
I think, so you're in a relationship. And so you have to take your partner's opinion into consideration. But that opinion has to be nuanced in a way that still allows you to breathe and be who you are. So if you're a person who likes to show some skin, can we come to a compromise? Can I just have one arm out instead of the whole body? Do you want your girl to show skin? Do you like that? Is that something you enjoy? There's a certain dress that I like on my girl, but I don't really have. I'm not that picky, so it's really what she wants to do. Mm-hmm. And I have to, she has dresses that I don't like. But I don't like them not because they're not cute dresses. I just don't like the style of them. It's not how I envision her to dress. You know what I'm saying? But she's not about me and my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are, like, she likes to dress a certain way. And so let's peek in the closet line of how you like to dress and see if I find something in there that, like, where we both align. You know? I'm not a big flashy, look at me type individual.
My husband either, yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend likes, you know, sparkly things
All his
and
favorite
sequins.
outfits say, you should just put on a pair of jeans.
He
always says, and I'm like, I can't wear, obviously, I can't wear jeans right now, but I'm like, does every nice outfit start with a pair of jeans for you? Right. He has no fashion sense.
No, and we don't. We
no fashion sense.
And men have to understand that, like, you know, men's fashion compared to women's fashion, it's two totally different things, and I'm not an expert in it. And so, unless it's offending me on a deeply conservative basis of, like, I just don't want to send this message that you're with the outfit you're wearing out there. If it's not something color-wise, cut-wise, or anything else, I'm not, you know, it's not for me to say. You know, I think you know, I think as men you gotta say so, but you need to understand where that say so ends.
I want my man to tell me I really want you wearing that. That's just me though. I really want him to just be my fashion consultant.
Well, no,
but that's just me.
But he may not be good at that. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue.
But that's why you pick a man who has style.
Well, yeah.
That's the thing. You gotta pick a man who likes to shop and likes to go out and buy, you know, clothes like that look in the magazine.
And that's a gay man. And then
exactly. I'm not picking a man that does that.
That's what I date. So maybe that's why it's different. I mean, I don't say I date gay men, but I like men who go, like my boyfriend, his style is important to him.
But, you know, one of the best things that you can do for your partner is to amplify the decisions that they do make. You know, let's say you know, like, I'm not really liking that dress because I think it's just color-wise or whatever. But you know what? Put those emotions to the side, and you start hyping and gassing your woman up or your man up of, like, okay, because what you're trying to do is help them become more confident, and you're being of service to your man right now. I want you to feel good, but you don't want to feel so good where they become arrogant. So
you hear that, babe? Hype me up. Hype me up next time.
I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Because no, your partner should be your own personal hype person. I should want to hype up everything that you do, you know, and we should be in this zone of love, you know. And sometimes it's hard. You can get out of that zone of love, and you have to work to get back in it. But that's where relationships should stay, as far as just how to be.
Can I ask you a question? Have either of you seen your partners in something, and you just kept your mouth quiet, but you down deep inside, you're like, oh my gosh, this looks horrible on that.
You know what?
Every day.
My girlfriend put on a dress that she was like, you like this dress? And I was like, nah, I'm not really digging that dress. But I have to be very careful with her because she told me when I said that I crushed her.
Oh, I see.
And I didn't like, to me, you show me a dress, it's like yes, no, yes. It's like swiping left or right. I'm putting that much effort into it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she was like, I love this dress. She was emotionally attached to this dress. She felt good in this dress. I love this dress. And for me to say I don't like it, to her, it was just like,
that's how we feel. That's exactly what you said. That is exactly actually what you said.
You have bad choices in fashion. And so in reality, we're just like, I can deal without it. In reality, it's 2 seconds for us. We're making a call and fly. But the gravity of our words is like talking to a megaphone with you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to say I agree with you because I do remember having a boyfriend. I think this is where I had the complex who told me almost every day that I looked horrible. And he was totally straight, but he's the one who went out and said, you need to wear stuff like this. And so I think that in order to so I didn't have to feel hurt all the time. That's why ever since then, the guys that I date, I make sure that they like what I wear. So, because I want to please them. I don't care about anybody else out there. I want to make sure that they're happy. That's how I am.
And listen, it's all good to make suggestions to your partner. Hey, try this. Look at this. Do this, but don't demand.
Yeah.
You got to understand that they're a different person with a different style of taste, and so you're looking at it through your lens of life and what you may like, but they may not even understand it or why you like it. You know what I'm saying? And then you may You may have so much goodwill for your partner that they'll do it, but they may feel uncomfortable about it. And so this is all about communication at the end of the day, of talking it through and getting your intent and learning the language of your partner, and then also, talking through a lens of love when you criticize.
Well, Shantae had said something, because earlier you had mentioned we could learn stuff from the older generation, and at first I was on board with you, Don, until I heard you talk about secrets, and you're right, because I know in our family the older generation had a lot of secrets, and the only way we found out was through some DNA stuff. That there were some secrets out there.
I got a story about that today. We got a woman found out who her real father was. And I said millennial.
Oh, sorry.
I said millennial and zillennial generation.
Learn from us?
To learn from our elders. From us too. I think we have a lot to teach.
Are we elders now? Is that what's happening? Are we now the elders?
I don't know. Are you in your 20s? You an elder, my friend. You an elder to somebody. Melrose, Valerie, we're going to get to your phone calls. And in my idea, man, I love when I get high overnight. So I take,
Y'all, I met Melrose.
Oh, did you?
I want to hear about that.
So we will get to your phone calls. I've got an idea on how to alleviate traffic in Los Angeles. Cool. Transformational change, though. So I got an idea on how to alleviate traffic in Los Angeles. We'll talk about that. We'll take your phone calls first. 800-920-1580 is KBLA Talk 1580.
Courage is contagious. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
DionRambo.com, that's me. I am Rambo, teaching you about contracts at the Westin Hotel, December 17th. That's coming up, December 17th. It's all free, sponsored by Linda Street. Listen, this is important. When you go to DionRambo.com, you'll see I have LA County coming, the mayor's office coming, the city coming, prime contractors coming, everyone, and they can only talk for 6 minutes each. I take contracting very serious. You should too. DionRambo.com. See you December 17th, DionRambo.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well-wishes may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Where can you jingle, mingle, and find every single holiday gift? Lowe's, actually. Wander the aisles during Winterfest and pick out the perfect present for $99, like a Craftsman 20-volt 2-tool combo kit, or your choice of a Cobalt 24-volt Max brushless drill kit or impact driver kit. Or give the gift of possibilities with a Lowe's gift card. Get all of your holiday shopping done at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Offer valid through 12/24 while supplies last.
Less BS per broadcast. Fewer microaggressions per megawatt. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, everybody, we're back.
Yeah, we're back, yeah. Don just stepped out. He'll be back in just a second. I don't know.
But we were talking about lies in the older generation and how they keep secrets and how they keep lies. And Is that fair to do, Kristen?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think, because I just know in our family we have a lot of family secrets. Somebody died before we got to find out anything, so we had to do DNA, and it would have made sense now. But I mean, I wish we were told.
Yeah, that's why for me, I'm like, unless the older generation is going to come out and speak directly and say, hey, this is the truth about my marriage. This is the truth about how we were living life. Then I don't want it. I don't want the advice, because they'll lie to you to this day. They will keep the lie. Yeah. We were so happy. This is how you do it. You know, you just got to communicate. That's how you make a marriage work.
Hold on, maybe
that's not how you make a marriage work.
Maybe as Gen X, our job is to navigate the treasures of our old and reformulate them and get them and repackage them so our young people can understand them. We're a gap. Gen X is a gap between baby boomers, millennials, and Gen Z.
Yeah.
And so there's a certain level of BS that we've seen, and there's also, you cannot negate the good that the elder generation has passed on. It may not all be good, but there's a lot of level of good that they passed on that we could pass on to the millennial generation by giving them game, and we just filter out the BS that we've noticed.
Well, I was just saying, how do you pick a proper mate if you're being lied to your entire childhood? How do you pick someone and go, oh, this relationship is great, I want to pick a guy just like that, and then you find out 20 years after the fact, after you're grown and in your 40s, that guy is nothing like who you think he is.
Right. So the way you pick out a proper mate is by doing a lot of introspective work on yourself in therapy, so that when you go into a relationship, you're not going into the relationship on hope. You're going into the relationship on history and character.
So are you saying that people's kids should start therapy in like high school? Because that's when you start picking your mates?
Listen,
yeah, that's true.
I think that we should move our kids and put them on a bunch of cruise ships that sail the seas and act as schools, dormitories, and hotel rooms, and never, without internet access other than to educational tools, and remove themselves out of American society for 2 or 3 generations.
That would be amazing.
In order to fix our issues.
That would be so amazing.
You know,
that actually is a dope idea.
Well, it's a cheap
a traveling
school,
cruise ship
traveling
school.
Parents live on the ship and they're part of the schooling. So number one, you have
housing, to be a teacher or a janitor or
you just help out on the cruise ship. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pulls their weight while we're educating. The main source is educating the kids while they're on the cruise ship, and we just stay at sea. There's no access to MTV, BET, or any type of culture other than the culture that we want them to know. And you do this for 2 generations or so, you create a break in American society when it comes to Black Americans, and then maybe you can come back to America. Now the question is, how much money is it going to cost to keep a ship at sea, and how many ships at sea do we need?
But do they get to visit other countries and stuff?
I would keep the ship moving from port to port to port to port to port.
I mean, but do you get to get off at port?
Yeah, no, I would.
Or are you just trapped on the ship because Black people in ships?
No, you're right. But I would keep the ship moving. I would keep the ship moving from port to port to port to port to port, and learn about and travel and learn about the culture.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I actually really like that idea.
Well, you may like my idea for Melrose. We'll get to Melrose. Melrose, hang on. I'm sorry, Valero or whoever, Valerie. I think we lost. So we'll get to you guys because I've got a lot of great ideas. These ideas pop up.
Tell her, call back.
Well, these ideas pop up when listen, psychedelic drugs are one of the greatest things that I could ever say to me. I don't want to
stop. Don't advocate.
I don't want to put you on a weird trip. But marijuana really gets my brain moving. When I get to sit down and take very low doses of THC, and it really and relax. I get anxiety laden depending on how much stuff is going on, but also my brain starts moving in different ways. Like last night, I came up with an idea on how to remove traffic out of the city of Los Angeles.
I can't wait to hear this.
Well, you may not like it though. Because it's going to revolutionize Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I've actually got 2 solutions. If you don't like the first one, I'll give you the second one.
Okay.
These are my solutions. I'm going to give you my solutions. These are my theories while I'm high.
Is it going to also impact the valleys? San Gabriel Valley and San Fernando Valley?
Everywhere.
LA. Okay.
It's going to impact all Southern California.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we're going to create history with this with one idea.
Okay.
All right, we're going to talk about it when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Standards for diabetes care are taking a more aggressive approach. The American Diabetes Association is updating its recommendations to include almost 100 new or revised ones that includes more guidelines to help address racial disparities in diabetes care. The new mayor of Los Angeles, California, is declaring a state of emergency on homelessness. This is Karen Bass's first move as mayor following her inauguration. Bass is the first woman and second black person to become mayor. Globe nominations for Best Supporting Actress in a Film are out. Nominees include Angela Bassett in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Janet Jackson is hitting the road next year. The Singers Together Again tour launches in April, with Ludacris serving as the opening act for the tour. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
In Hollywood, we've got a full closure of Hollywood Boulevard, both directions, between Orange Drive and Highland Avenue for a special event. That's got traffic in the area a little bit rough, and the best alternate to get around that closure is Franklin or Sunset Boulevard. In Castaic, northbound 5, we still have the right lane closed between Lake Hughes and Templin Highway due to damages from the root fire, and they expect that closure to last until the 1st of March. If you are heading to any of the mountain areas today, make sure you've got snow chains or four-wheel drive. We do have a lot of those requirements in effect right now. In Ontario, eastbound 60 between Milliken and Etiwanda, we've got the carpool lane blocked off until 3 o'clock for drain cleaning.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. MVP's Pro Rewards members. Visit Lowe's now and earn bonus points on select products and brands like Power Pro. Then redeem for Lowe's gift cards and more. Offer valid through 1/8/23. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts event. Subject to program terms. Points expire 12/31/21.
The Clippers are back in action tonight after returning home from a 2-2 road trip in the Eastern Conference. They play the Boston Celtics at Crypto.com. NBA Nation is mourning the loss of Paul Silas, one of the league's most respected players and coaches. Silas passed away from heart failure late Sunday night. He was 79. Silas was a 3-time NBA champion during his 17-year career, 2 with the Celtics and 1 with Seattle. He was a head coach in the NBA with 5 different teams. His first coaching job was with the Clippers in 1980 when the team was in San Diego. Silas' son Steven is head coach of the Houston Rockets. Little known fact about Paul Silas: he was a first cousin of the popular singing group the Pointer Sisters. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call me your MVP.
Hi, I'm Travis Smiley. As KBLA Talk 1580 host, we never quite know where the conversation. Our guest really surprised us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We got a lot to talk about.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 6192, or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org, the standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering bring you a world of flavors to your next event. For all occasions, book with K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. Call 310-819-6213 or go to kmichellekitchencatering.com. Proud sponsor of the Office of the Week. Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering cater your next event. Book today at kmichellekitchencatering.com or on Instagram at kmichelles_kitchen catering or on Facebook at K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. We look forward to cooking for you soon.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation. Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
Congratulations to the Los Angeles Norwalk Courthouse. They are this week's KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. The Los Angeles Norwalk Courthouse, and part of the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles. Congratulations.
To the KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
All right, so no stranger to taking psychedelics. When I go to bed, I pop a small amount of THC, some edibles. This helps me think. Last night I could not get to sleep. It took too much. But I love it. I love staying up all night thinking and pontificating the world's problems. So I came up with an idea on how to fix traffic. I came up with 2 ideas on how to fix traffic here in Los Angeles. Okay? I'll give you the first one. This is the biggest one. How does one get rid of traffic in Los Angeles?
It's going to take away all the cars.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every single car.
LA will become the first carless city in the nation. Imagine what we could do if every street did not have a car running down it. How efficient would the city become? How more economical would the city become if everybody traveled in the same space through public transportation? Now, I'm not saying the bus situation here because the infrastructure for my plant is not here. But if you were to close off every street in Los Angeles and create a situation of rapid people mover situations to get you from one place to the next in the same amount of time or less than it would take you to drive, because this is not about being at a disadvantage. This is about speeding up your advantage. How more healthier would the city become if we didn't have cars in LA? Number one.
It would become healthy.
Number one. All right. How much more would we get to know people around in our community? Because this is a bigger impact here. Cops are no longer able to ride around in patrol cars. They got to walk the beat now. The police have to walk the beat because there's no cars on the road anymore.
What about horses?
Okay, we can take a horse. I'll take a horse.
I think this would be a great idea if funds were dispersed equally throughout Los Angeles. And I think the only thing is the rich would have all the good stuff, and their trains would never be overcrowded, and they would all run on time.
Well,
all the poor people would have all the crappy, overcrowded. Can't get on stuffed into a subway.
Look, I'm not saying that there's not issues to this plan. There are problems to this plan. How do we move the handicapped? Handicapped people who cannot walk or in wheelchairs, who have issues walking, we have to create special modes of transportation for them that can pick them up outside of their place of business or their house. We have to create some level of transportation that gets you from block to block and, city to city. You know what I'm saying? But the issue is that now we have a place to implement this transportation hub because there are no more cars on the street. So because the streets have no more cars on them, we can use the space that's in the street for rapid transit to get you from place to place.
Like when you said the people mover, you're talking about like how they have a Disneyland where a bunch of people get on that thing and it just goes real slow. But they even have like in Vegas,
I was thinking
from
about
casino to casino that transportation.
I was thinking there's monorail systems that we can put in place. I was also thinking about in certain areas, and I don't know the specifications of this, but when you walk to airports, they have that escalator that's flat.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had that on every single city block.
Yeah.
You had an escalator, a people mover escalator that was covered. You got to dream with me, Shante. I told you I'm high. Dream with me.
Right now?
No. I'm coming up for this is a different plan to move people and speed us out throughout Los Angeles.
I hate the people mover thing at the airport. I don't want to walk. Why are airports so bad? I don't want to walk that much. That's why I hate New York. I don't want to walk and have to go to catch a train, to a bus, to a subway, to a transfer. I want to get in my car from my garage. And I want to go.
There we go. There we go. All right, and for people like you, the bourgeois. This is where we either get the private sector involved. We have to create some type of rail system or whatever to where you can get a private shuttle where you can need for some
I wouldn't be able to afford it because I'm not that bourgeois.
No, but you wouldn't need a car anymore. I mean, imagine if you were to get rid of your car.
Please, don't make me cry, Don.
Get rid of your car, you get rid of your insurance for your car. Maybe instead of having a two-car family, you just have one. And then we would also have to create garages, massive garages around the city where you would park your cars, and that they would lead to outside of Los Angeles. So basically, no new traffic coming into Los Angeles at a certain point, which leads you into a garage. We would keep the freeway system and eventually maybe expand the freeway system by expanding into the street levels to widen it. And the freeway systems would either allow you to come into LA to a certain point or leave LA. But you cannot use your car on the street anymore. You would have to take some level of rapid transit that is just as fast as you moving around with your car to get you around.
Maybe people would get healthier.
Well, I think we can call the plan, let's move LA. You know what I'm saying? Where we get moving. Everybody's on a same level. Celebrities, everybody. There's no more. We are leveling out the class at a certain level in the city.
There'd be no way.
What about the homeless people?
Great place. With all this new land that we're getting up, we can sit there and fill some of it in with housing.
For the homeless?
Well, not necessarily for the homeless, with more housing. Imagine if there's so the problem with Los Angeles and building in Los Angeles is there's no land.
Yeah.
So you have to take something existing and tear it down and build it up. So now we have blocks upon blocks upon blocks upon blocks where we can build more housing. And so now we can sit there and say, hey, we got more housing. We can allow so much excess supply that comes onto the market. I mean, lower down rent levels because now there's excess supply.
Lower down rent levels.
Shantae's like, no way.
Wait a minute. I was with you up until lower rent levels.
Of course. And this is the problem that we're in right now with market-based economics. But, so we can lower property values down to where because there's more space now where there were streets.
My property value too, Don?
No. Your property value is still going to stay up. It's Los Angeles. It's never going to go down. The only way your property value is going to go down in Los Angeles if the city got destroyed. That's it. There's no way. This is a destination at least for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations to come. That may change as times change, and things change, but
how do we get to the beach?
Yeah.
How do we get to the mountains?
What's option number 2?
It's rapid transportation. We're talking about mini bullet trains that can get you from one side of the city to the next side.
Okay, got it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So these are rapid bullet trains that can get you from one place. Let's say you can go from Long Beach to Beverly Hills in 10 minutes.
Oh, I would love that.
Right, so everything's moving that fast. You see?
Not bad.
So that's the idea. The second idea is Elon Musk came out with something called the Boring Company years ago. And the idea was to tunnel under Los Angeles to create tunnels that will get us from one city to the next faster. You know what I'm saying? Because he has the Hyperloop. The Hyperloop tunnel is what it was. But that's so much opposition, right? I mean, look how long it took us to get a subway system here in Los Angeles. I mean, when did they first start the subway system in LA? In the 90s?
Yes.
It's 90s, 2023. We barely got some type of in 20, right? Red tape. Building under the city, opposition to people. Why not let's go where the opposition is less? What if we were to create, Elon Musk were to create Hyperloop tunnels that venture off under the ocean?
Wow.
That you can sit there and go from Long Beach to Malibu. You don't have to burrow or create a tunnel underneath the city of LA. You're doing it under the ocean. And basically, there's little to no or minimal opposition of burrowing under the ocean. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk can figure that out. And let's say you can go and we're creating another access freeway point underneath the ocean, off the coast of Los Angeles, Long Beach, Redondo, whatever, that can get you from the South Bay to the North Bay under the ocean.
Can we do it after the big earthquake happens and the tsunami? Because I wouldn't want it before the big one. The big one's about to hit.
So I don't know about
so
the tsunami probably wouldn't affect the Hyperloop tunnel. Earthquake might.
Yes.
But earthquake
all die.
Yeah, but earthquake. But you're looking at an earthquake as being greater at a tunnel underneath the ocean than compared to your building collapsing that you live in. It's literally almost the same.
It's about the same, yeah.
Right. So there really is no negativeness of it. If an earthquake hits, you're going to be screwed no matter where you're at.
I would rather be screwed in my house than underneath in a tunnel underwater.
Who says you're going to be who says you're going to spend that much time under the tunnel? I think statistics can look at how much time you spend under the tunnel compared to how much time you spend in the house, and you have a greater chance of being smashed in your house from falling down.
With all my cats and my personal belongings still be there, than in a tunnel.
And I think statistically looking, you will probably die there more so than in a tunnel.
This is how I want to go.
But that was the other idea of create these Hyperloop tunnels with Elon Musk's boring underneath the ocean, underneath the beaches. That go from city to city to city, because it's the only untethered access area where there's nothing there but water. So then you would have to worry about would be the state government, maybe the environmentalists, maybe the federal government, but you wouldn't have to worry about residents from the cities anymore. You're not really disrupting any land or anything because you're digging underneath, and you're digging underneath the ocean. So, imagine going from Long Beach to Santa Monica, 10 minutes.
That'd be great.
Santa Monica to Malibu, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is that? What is that black woman sigh?
Listen, I'm not a fan of public transportation. It's why I'm not a big fan of New York. You're underneath the city in New York. I can't use my cell phone. There's no internet service.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There are people touching everything, people sneezing everywhere, coughing, and then I have to come in and try to not fall on the train or find a seat or pick the right car to be in. I don't like public transportation. I like my little bubble of my car.
Well, part 2 of my plan.
Call me bougie.
No, okay, bougie. Part 2 of my plan requires you using your own car. Part 2 requires me using your own car.
Okay.
So part 2, it is not a carless city.
But I do feel like there are way too many cars in Los Angeles. And
there are.
There's way too much traffic.
Well, I mean, the Rand Corporation, the other study that the Rand Corporation did, the other idea and the Rand Corporation did a study on it was maybe that you're for this. They said the only way to reduce traffic is to make it more expensive to drive. I'm trying to take driving away from everybody, or we can just make it a rich people thing.
They're already making it more expensive to drive with insurance rates.
Insurance,
registration. Oh, registration.
I just got my registration right here in my purse, y'all. My registration, y'all.
How much is it?
Girl. It is.
I'm curious.
So much. Almost $300.
Yeah.
Was that too much?
It did not used to be that.
It never used to be that
expensive.
expensive.
Never used to be that expensive.
Let me see what the fees are on there. Let's see what you got here. Because they always love to put these. Registration fee, $157. License fee. What is a license?
What is the license fee even? What is that?
$97. You don't have a weight fee. You don't have a special plate fee. County and district fees $11, and a smog abatement fee. What does that mean?
I know.
What is a smog abatement?
Well, you have to get a smog check.
You know what?
Smog checks are expensive.
I think my smog check is like good for 2 years. I just had one last year.
You know what I would love to do is get rid of late fees in regards to the city.
Yes.
Like, this should just be the fee, regardless of when you pay it. Let's say they suspend your registration because you can't pay it, but they got postmarked.
If you don't pay by this date,
320, 339. We need to get rid of those fees because that's how they really be like screwing us out on all these extra fees and late fees, penalties and interest and all this other stuff. Like you don't need to be dogging the people of Los Angeles out because of their inability to pay you when you want to receive the money.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that people don't need to receive the money fast, but still. So anybody have any of my ideas now?
I like your idea. I mean, I think it's a good idea. It's very creative. Definitely.
I think pollution is bad in the city, and getting rid of a lot of the cars would be a huge solution to that.
Or maybe we have city car-free zones, car-free cities. Maybe we have car-free cities, and we do this slowly over a number of years. And let's say we start off with Venice, where you create massive parking lots where you park, and Venice to get around is car-free city.
That's actually a better idea, and then you transition slowly.
I'm not about shocking people. It's a slow transition because
Start with one car-free city.
Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. Mayor Rose, get your phone call when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where truth prevails. The Jackie station is down the dial.
The state task force is getting closer to identifying what reparations will look like in California. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. The California Task Force to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans will be conducting its last meeting of 2022 on December 14th and 15th at Oakland City Hall Chambers, beginning at 9 a.m. with time for public comment. Meetings will be live streamed on the task force website or on ETM Media YouTube. Task Force Chairperson Kamala Moore says that the next meeting is of high importance and will include an in-depth conversation about redress and repair. So far, the task estimate of 2 million African Americans in California who have ancestors that were enslaved here in the U.S. They are still determining what or how much compensation should be. Let's start the conversation on social media pages at KBLA 1580.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP accident attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
Ho, ho, ho. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefit concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA.
I
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's go to Melrose out of the streets of L.A. Melrose came out this weekend to support the Karen Bass Welcome Home big festival we had this past weekend, which is absolutely amazing. It's out on all TV stations. Got a lot of earned media off of that. I got your book here, Questions Young People Ask About Their Health, Teenage Medicine by Augusta Greenblatt.
That was my mother. She was in there. She was with me in spirit on Saturday, and I gave the book to Elston. And
I got it. You very strong resemblance you and your mother. I tell you that. You are your mother's son.
You. Except for the brain, she had a much bigger one.
Oh, I think you got some of it.
I saw this smoking hot girl say to me, "Where's my sign?" It was Shantae.
Shantae, yeah, she was thoroughly excited. Said, "I met Melrose Larry Green."
And you know, I know your husband's listening right now. Hubby, relax. You're lucky you got the hottest girl in town. Okay. Just relax. She looked beautiful, hubby. And hubby, just take a chill pill because you got not too many women can shut me up like Shantae.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And by the way, Don, I want you to know that I really was thrilled on Saturday, and so many people, because I have a little bit of an ego. So many people came up to me and said, "Are you Melrose? I knew from your voice, have heard me on your show." And I can't thank you enough, and Tavis, for doing the Mark Ridley Thomas thing. He was there. I've known him for years. I had a sign. I love Mark Ridley Thomas, and Karen Bass saw it and gave him a shout-out in the audience, Mark Ridley Thomas. So it was a great day, probably the most real day of my life, much more real than any of my stuff back east with you-know-who. And Dominic's show was great, her interview, but I don't want to go on any shows on KBLA except for your show, so I left a message with Dominic's screener, Miles, telling her how great her interview was. And I'm so impressed with Karen Bass. She's so different than...
Listen, day one, state of emergency. It's up to us to keep her to her promises, but she already looks like she's already impacting day one. So this is her first day in office.
Listen, I'm sure she listens to you every day. I'm sure she'll listen to Tavis every day. And I hope everybody in the mayor's office has their radios tuned to KBLA. Because if you really want to know what's going on in this city, you've got to listen to Tavis, Dominique, and Danny at night, and Zoe Williams with the voice of reason. I mean, and you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to everybody here to see if we can create some content in conjunction with the mayor's office, where we pitch the mayor ideas for not only improving Los Angeles, but business opportunities that the city can get involved with, amplifying voices here. You know, we kind of wheel them up in here, and then we put a segment on the air that says pitch the mayor.
Yeah, get rid of the cars. I love that. I took the bus to Lemert, got there. Nobody mugged me. Nobody robbed me. On the white liberals that are listening, nobody mugged me. Nobody robbed me. I had the greatest time.
Anybody treat you bad?
So many wonderful people. Nobody. You know, I met somebody else, but I keep forgetting his name, Shantae. You might remember. A brother.
Kwamel.
Kwamel
Sweet.
Kwamel. Yeah, I got a picture with him. I got a picture with Shantae. It was really great. And I just want you to know that when I when I listen to KBLA, it's like my seventh university after Brandeis, Cornell, Hebrew University, University of Houston, then Yeshiva. It's a university. And KBLA, I learned so much. And quite frankly, I'm not an ass kisser right now, but the only guy I've ever met smarter than me in radio is Tavis.
Oh, God.
Funnier than me is Don Amiche, but nobody's smarter than
I mean,
Tavis.
Tavis is just an intellect that you can get intimidated to by talking or just listening to him on the air.
Yes.
It's very hard because you think you're good at what you do, and you know you're good to a certain extent, but then when you listen to him, he's just coming at it from a different level of life that is like,
knowledge, just
Yeah.
so much knowledge.
You see that I don't have, like, there's a difference in those who have the PhD and the masters and the masters. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, Melrose, we got a record. We're getting close to time. I appreciate you. Love you. I got your book. I'm going to read it and I'll give you my analysis of it.
Thank you for taking my call. Thank you. Thank you, Don.
All right. We were talking about parents and the secrets that they kept. One young girl found out that her father wasn't really her father through an anonymous text on Facebook Messenger. We're going to get to that when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from a Black Information Network. Megan Thee Stallion will have plenty of supporters outside tomorrow. Fans are planning to rally to support the rapper as she sets to testify in the trial of rapper Tory Lanez. He's accused of shooting Megan in the foot in July of 2020. Students grades 6 through 12 attending public schools in D.C. have until Friday to submit proof of vaccinations to school officials. The deadline does not include the COVID shot. Officials